just get things set up. Click on this. Oh. Stick it up. There we go. There. And then save that. Excellent. And then do that. There. Perfect. Right. I think that's correct now. So, can everyone... for starters, can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear the game? And more importantly, can you, see the game? For starters. I'll just do... double check that, of course, just before I start. Right. I'll just get the live chat up and then we can begin. Hang on. Transferring from one device to another. There we go. And now I'm on my phone. YouTube live streaming. It's never a simple thing. Right. Anyway, welcome to tonight's, or this morning, or this evening, or this afternoon's stream, wherever you are around the world. Welcome. Hope everyone is all well, and I hope everyone has had a good start to this week. For today's stream, or tonight's stream, wherever you are around the world, I'll be conducting some services on Rapid Transit, the first German route for Train Sim World. And not only that, I'll be conducting services on the new timetable, the updated 2021 timetable. And we're going to start with this, the Silver Talent 2 electric multiple unit in December. And I think we're going to do this one. No, which one? I found a service I wanted to do earlier. What was it? Yes, this one, the S6 S-Bahn 30-minute service, which goes from Markkleeberg-Gaschwitz to Leipzig-Messe. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's rock and roll. Right, I'll take a look at the chat. Train Master, hey, how are you? The E60 guy, hey, how are you? Will J, the Rail Fanner, hey, how are you? Train Master, what happened? I just forgot to change the title. It's just a simple mistake. Nothing more than that. Matt Jennings, hey, how are you? Favorite underground line? Love it when it goes underground. Oh yeah, gotta love the underground section on this route for sure. Train Master, by chance, could you do a service with the Boston Sprinter? Yeah, I will when I get round to it. I can assure you I will be streaming on... I have everything other than the 38 tube stock for the Bakerloo line, so yeah, I pretty much will stream everything I have. When that will happen, I don't know, but yeah, it will be it'll be this year, that's for sure. Right, the doors are opening. Passenger boarding procedures can commence. Let's turn that off. Turn on the lights. Just trying to find the what you call it, the instrument lights. Oh, it's already at 100%, and the cab. That's excellent. That's what I like to see. There's a service on the left, departing to go somewhere. What am I doing? Yeah, the pantograph. There we go. Made a noise. This is operating. I'm certainly making a noise. Actually, no, I'll turn CIFA off, because there's a very good chance that I'll be focusing on what you lovely people will say to me, either questions or whatever, And yeah, there's a good chance that I won't be able to react in time to the Sifa, and we'll come to a stop and it'll be a disaster. So anyway, it's time to depart, so let's lock the doors and commence this early morning service in the city of Leipzig. Just checking the brakes, all good. Much better, there we go. Oh, maybe not. The parking brake. There's always the parking brake. I think it's just the parking brake, if I'm not mistaken. I did turn Sifa off, so shouldn't be any other... Oh yeah, of course, the master key is on. Okay. Cabin lights, yeah. Everything's all good. Yep, seems fine to me. It's probably just... There we go, yeah. It must have been the parking brake. That's the clown horn for you. It's a funny little horn on this, but it probably sounds inaccurate. I'm not sure if the horn sound is 100% accurate to the real Talent 2, but either way, I like it. It's a bit funny. Train Master, do you also like or hate the brake sound when you apply the brakes on the CTC3 cab car? I'm not sure. I can't remember what it sounds like. I'll be honest. Maybe if it's at a standstill, if I recall, it was hissing away constantly when you're at a stop and the doors have unlocked and the passenger procedures commenced. I think when I first tried it, it was a bit annoying. I don't know if that's still to be the case because, of course, it's been a while since I've been on Boston Sprinter, and I have no idea if that particular sound looping issue was fixed or maybe hasn't fixed. I don't know. I'll certainly investigate that when I have some spare time. Do you know what the CSX88 or the triple 4-digit 8 is? No, I do not. But thank you for putting it in the chat. It gives me a chance to have a look at that. I've overstepped the mark by an absolute country mile, but never mind. I think we've got a express style kind of service going on here. I think I've got two Talent 2 units connected together, so it's not the end of the world. I figured how to get rid of the sound. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. It's understandable. Oh, fair enough. How did you do that? Well, I suppose one way to get rid of the sound is, put the game on mute. Alright, let's get going. We're going to be late anyway, but it's going to be a pretty quick run on the Talent 2, and then after we've had a little run with the Talent 2, I'll then commence, I suppose, the main portion of the stream, which is a full all-stop service with the red DBBR 182. Yeah, it's nice to get back in rapid transit. It's been a while, and like I said in yesterday's stream, this route stands out from the other German routes because either it hasn't, some routes have a lot of passenger and a little bit of freight, or a lot of freight and not a lot of passenger. But this is unique, of course, because this is the only pure passenger route, German passenger route in the game as we speak. The next stop is Markkleeberg. Once again, I do apologise if I get the pronunciations wrong for the German stations. So there'll be some stations I know how to say correctly and I'll say, and if there's some stations I don't know how to say correctly, then yeah, I think it's best I just don't say it. We're practically on time-ish. As long as we keep within the minute of the expected time of arrival, then it's not a big deal, is it? It's not like the passengers are gonna rage and throw me out of the cab and drop kick my head in. We're not going to have a riot on the station platform or the concourse. There we are. Let's unlock the doors. I know this sounds a bit geeky, but I do like the opening and the doors opening on this particular Talent 2 than the red one. I think it just sounds more, I don't know, to me it just sounds a bit cooler, but that's just my opinion. Let's have a look at the chat, shall we? Have a train master, do the startup procedure but do not put the EP brake control on. Ah, yeah, that's a good way to do it. Yeah, that makes sense actually. Yeah, just do the procedure in a different order. I'll give that a try, see if it works. Right, what's next? Markleberg Nord. Less than 1 kilometre away. Yeah. No, half a kilometre, sorry. E60 Guy 101 on May the 15th, 2001, the CSX 888 ran away. Ran away? How could it run away? I presume the driver just, I don't know, hopped out of the cab for a break and I don't know, left the brakes off and down the hill it went, and I presume this CSX 4-digit 8 must have crashed and yeah, never seen again. Speaking of some American locomotives, the Amtrak 50th anniversary livery still has not appeared in the game as I speak. I thought it would be a really quick, I mean, it's only a livery, for goodness sake. It can't take that long. Unless they, I don't know, massively screwed up the livery on either a particular version of the game, be it on console or PC, or maybe the license holder, of course, Amtrak, maybe came to them and say, hey, look, this doesn't look quite right as you did in real life, so sort it out. But yeah, I'm very surprised it's taking this long. I thought it would appear actually in the update, excuse me, before Taranto Ramp came along, but not to be. Hopefully in the what's next? What's the next route? Horseshoe Curve, maybe that one, that livery will make an appearance. Right, the next stop is Leipzig Conwitz, I think that's how you say it, I'm not sure. Or, yeah, something like that. Either way, it's under 2 kilometers away. Because of a switch was not aligned properly. Okay. Don't crash into the station wall. Oh no. Oh no. And the engineer went out, switch out, and it went run away. Oh my god. That's a catastrophic failure there from the driver, or the engineer I should say. I'm sure there's an old saying we have in a British football or soccer, you'll be sacked in the morning. I'm pretty sure that's what happened to the driver. You must have a terrible memory. Unless this particular locomotive was at the workshop or a shed or a yard or something, and oh, accidents happen. Be that by mistake or on purpose. I presume it must have been horrendous accident. I hope it wasn't a passenger train. Then obviously, yeah, that is bad. Let's get on the brakes. It's very slow at braking. I forgot how sluggish this thing is to get to a standstill. It's pretty good when accelerating, but clearly the brakes not as I expected. Which side? The left. JM Sims and Reactions. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Trademaster, speaking of Horseshoe Curve, Amtrak does run their by low electricity on the Horseshoe Curve. Okay. The 888 was on the main line. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Thank goodness for that. This was what, in 2001, wasn't it? So, yeah, a long time ago. E60, the engineer forgot to set a switch for the activated the dynamic brakes, but failed. The locomotive was stopped by putting another loco behind its. CSX 888 lasted until 2018. It was turned to SD40-3. Oh, it still lives on, kind of. Oh, okay, fair enough. I thought it was smashed to millions of pieces, but oh, it lives on. Well, you never know. If we get a route, I should say, since it's American, that features an SD40-3, you never know. We'll have to go on the hunt for the CSX 8888. Never know. Might make an appearance in the game one day. Now, wouldn't that be a story? It was freight. Oh, okay. Trainmaster. A different cab than the other SD40s. Oh, then that's more easier to recognise then. Not in real life, but in the game as well, if it ever was to come to the game. I'm not sure if it might be in Train Simulator in some shape or form. I mean, for those of you who don't know, I don't have Train Simulator. I want to get Train Simulator, but I need a PC, and I haven't got room for a PC at the moment. Where I live, my bedroom is quite small, and haven't got much space to play with. To put it into perspective, I had to change beds just so I could get more storage under it. Right, the next stop is Leipzig MDR. Now, I don't know what MDR means. I think it's some sort of television station or television company in Germany or in the Leipzig area, or maybe it's a local newspaper or radio station, something like that. I think it was on the lines of like something like multimedia or some sort of media business. Now, obviously it wasn't licensed, I presume, so they had to call it MDR for short. Because I think in real life this station is not called MDR. Oh, there's the 182. Blimey, that makes a noise. Yeah, it's screeching into the platform. Blimey. Is that train running away? With the brakes squealing on? It sounded horrendous coming past us there. I'm not sure if it's actually stopped. Has it stopped? It has stopped. Okay. Well, blimey, the driver must have applied the brakes very, very hard. E60 guy, oh sorry, not E60, yeah, E60 guy, sorry, because the 4-digit 8 was a Conrail SD40, so it had the controls of like the Clinchfield Railroad SD40. Oh, I see, okay. Trainmaster, the 888, was originally from Conrail, but then CSX bought the engine, I think. Oh, you got more knowledge than me about it, so... E60 guy made a Penn Central Heritage unit. Oh, awesome. Penn Central is a disaster company. Right. Oh, used an SD70 ACE. Oh, awesome. In Matt Jennings, I remember it would never work if I saved it. If I was convinced, so I would go a few stops down the line and the signal would stay red when it was a clear run. Whoop, speaking of red, I'm going over the speed limit. That must have been on the service, I imagine. If it's a scenario, I don't know, because I've already completed it. Like, I don't know. I think it was earlier this year, I think I completed the scenarios of rapid transit. Now we're entering the underground tunnels of Leipzig, and we do need to stop. Just cruise to the stopping point, and then we'll come to a halt. It's a bit irritating that on some routes the stop marker is ever present, and then on some routes it ain't present at all. So, but there we are. I suppose that's a way to mastering certain routes, or favourite route, of course. You've got to learn where to stop. You've got to learn when to brake. Learn when to decelerate. Learn when to accelerate. Trademaster, anyone got Sherman Hill besides the E60 guy want one of me? Well, I have. I had it last night, but then I had to get rid of it so I can get rapid transit on the PlayStation. I'm sure those of you who don't know that, or do know, that there is a DLC cap on the PS5, so I have to juggle around with all the DLCs, like which ones I want to use and which ones I have to get rid of, and it's hard because yeah, there are some routes I want to keep and play, but yeah, you can't have that at the moment. I'm sure when Dovetail fixes it, or maybe Sony as well, yeah, the problem will be rectified. But it's very obvious that they've chosen a random number, like 64 gigabytes. Yeah, that's kind of like what you'd have in like a phone or something, isn't it? We're going way too fast. I'm not going to apply the emergency brakes because I don't know how to recover from an emergency stop. And the train's long enough. Oh well. At least there's no red signals. That's all the positives I could take out of this so far. Underground time, says Trainmaster. Absolutely, we are indeed underground. Matt Jennings, it was unusual time. It was a usual timetable. Any train journey that terminated at Konowitz. Terminated at Konowitz. Okay. That might happen to me then, because the plan for me for this stream was to do a run in the opposite direction, going from what was it, Magdeburg Gashwitz to is it Leipzig Messe I'm going to? Yeah, Leipzig Messe, and then with the 182 service I'm hoping to go do an all-stop service going from Dessau Hauptbahnhof to the station in question you're pointing out, which I can't see because the writing's too small. Leipzig Konwitz there, just next to the word, just below Markleberg Nord, you can see the word there. I hate the fact that the words are so small, or the zooming function, you can zoom in, but I want to zoom in more because the writing's so small. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that has that problem. If you have a big monitor or TV, then it's not really a problem, but I have a pretty decent TV. I mean, it's 50-inch TV, Panasonic, and yeah, it's quite hard to see, especially when you have a lot of stations that are very close together and all the words overlap each other. That's certainly frustrating, and I'm surprised Dovetail haven't devoted more time to fixing that, because that really isn't a what's it called, a accessibility issue, really. Because if people struggle to read, or struggle to see, like have short-sighted, or not short-sighted, long distance. No, is it long distance or short distance? I don't know. My brain's going to sleep. But you see my point of view, that it is difficult at times to read the description of certain names on a map. I mean, we've got the old map here, and I like it, but of course, yeah, you don't have the names, but you could really zoom in and get right into the thick of the route map and see where you're going. Who likes the SD70 ACE horn? Says the Train Master. Yeah, I like it. Well, it's much better than the AC 4400 CW horn. I've got a bit, I wouldn't say sick and tired of it, but a bit bored of it. I wish, I don't mind of the sound. It's just, I think there's not enough meat or enough bite to the sound, because American horns, sound loud and, have a lot of vibrancy, maybe volume. I'm not sure. Difficult to describe. But yeah, the horns are obviously very important for the American locomotives, regardless what type of locomotive it is. Obviously, it's a pretty major part in the railroad. Obviously, that is not a factor, of course, in Germany. There are very rare instances where you do have to sound the horn in Germany. I don't think there are any German whistle signposts in any of the German routes on the game, if I'm not mistaken. I think the German board for a whistle is a W, or no, not a W. I think it's like a V or something. I'm not too sure. I read it up the other day. I was looking at the German signs and what they all stood for, and I think the horn is like a V or maybe just a typical W, like you'd see in England or Germany, USA. Sorry, I'm not too sure. The E60 guy on Minecraft, I made 3 ships. Wow. The RMS Baltic, the SS California, and the RMS Carpathia. I think that's how you say it. I'm not too sure. I'll be honest there. But yeah, I mean, I have a bit of a I wouldn't say a love, but certainly interested in the warships. I picked up. Was it last year or was it the year before? It might have been 2019, actually, late 2019 or early 2020. I picked up a free game called World of Warships, and I absolutely love that game. So much fun, especially to play with friends. And of course, the upgrading system, leveling up in different classes of ships, different countries. And it's also great because the detail in the visual characteristics are very, very impressive. And actually on the World of Warships YouTube channel, they do this fantastic naval series called Naval Legends, and it's almost like watching like a history documentary on Discovery Plus or whatever it's called, the History Channel. So much more. It's really good. The detail, the footage, even exploring some of the warships that have survived, that are in preservation or being used in museums, as museums. Yeah, that is fascinating to me. I think we have. Do we have a warship in Train Sim World? No, we have. I know on Southeastern we have a nuclear submarine. Is it a nuclear sub? I think it is a nuclear submarine. It's like a black or grey nuclear submarine. It's not fully detailed. It's like a bit of distant scenery, but yeah, who would have thought bound southeastern high speed in the Chatham or Rochester area there's a damn submarine. And a nuclear one too, I think. So whether it's out of service, I presume it's out of commission, but yeah, pretty cool though, isn't it? Not every day you see a nuclear submarine. Either in service or out of service. Right, let's get on the brakes. So we're approaching Leipzig Nord. Not too far now from the final stop. Not too far at all. There we are. Left hand side, there we go. Let's commence the boarding procedures. V60 guy 101. The worst ship disaster happened on January the 30th, 1945. MV Wilhelm Gustloff got torpedoed by a Russian submarine S-13. Yeah. I mean, any ship that gets struck by, torpedoes by a submarine obviously causes humongous amounts of damage. Sometimes even beyond repair, or they just sink and that's it. End of the line. Let's hope it's not a German U-boat. No, I don't think it would be a German submarine. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what Her Majesty the Queen or the British government would say about that. Like, we've got a retired German nuclear submarine just sitting in a river in England. No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that it is from the Royal Navy. Yep, it is indeed. The next and final stop is Leipzig Messe. Off we go. The train master, anybody like the SD70 ACE horn? Yeah, I think it's a good horn. It's different, so I'll take it. Whether it sounds 100% authentic, I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you on that front. But yeah, it's got a lot of bite to it, and yeah, sounds good. The E60 Guy 101, the German U-boat 20 sunk the RMS Lustania, if that's how you pronounce it correctly. Ah, right. You learn something every day. There's the 182 again. Just over 2 kilometers to go. With just under 2 minutes to go until our scheduled time of arrival. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dovetail added the one of the ICE trains to Rapid Transit as AI for trundling into and out of Leipzig Hauptbahnhof station, which caught me by surprise. I remember encountering it on a service going to in the opposite direction that we're travelling in, and yeah, it caught me by surprise because I didn't expect an ICE to just appear out of nowhere. But also it's quite annoying because it destroyed my service, not because it broke it, but just because it made me incredibly late. And that effectively ruined my attempts to keep a service relatively close to time. I think I was running late anyway, but only by a couple of minutes. But yeah, it delayed it by like another 3 to 4 minutes. And yeah, game over at that point. Who knows, I might see it in a stream. I've no idea. Whether it's just a one-time opportunity, I'm not too sure. good to see that the destination displays are working on the stations. Of course, this particular Talent 2 doesn't have the destination displays integrated, but it will do very soon, hopefully. I think Dovetail said it was now in their plans to, at last, have the destination displays working on this Silver Talent 2. I mean, yeah, it's been a while. It's been a very long time. A very long time. Wait until 9:47 and 30 seconds. Let's have a look at the chat. The Train Fanatic 787. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Train Master Rumble, they're gonna take your face off. The E60 Guy 101. What do you think of the RHB Anniversary Pack? I like it. Mainly because it was festive. It was released in the festive period and added a lot of festive themed gameplay, like taking big presents in a scenario to Christmas themed services and scenarios, and decorations on the route. I like it. I wasn't a fan of the price. I thought it should be a little bit more cheaper than it turned out to be, but I like it. And I like deliveries too. A nice variety of colours, livery-wise. I like the green one. I think it was the Cur Desentis anniversary livery. I like the green one. We haven't got many green trains in Train Sim World. We got a lot of blue and obviously a lot of red. Not many are green. I think we've got the... we need to brake. My God, we're going to derail. Oh, that was close. There we are. We managed to finish that. Hey, and we got a gold. Excellent. I just want to check how close we were to the buffers. Hang on. Close enough. Not a disaster. Right, let's return to the main menu and commence the second part of the stream. I'll just take a look at the chat. The new roadmap is difficult to understand. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is very difficult to understand. I don't know why they changed it. It was fine how it was. It just irritates me. Like, why did they keep changing it? You know, they've done it quite often. In over the nearly 2 years the roadmap has been in existence. I don't understand what was the problem with it previously. It was easy to understand. It's not that complex, surely. Jeez. Oh well, never mind. Well, hopefully, I mean, of course, I'm not the only one that, you know, has voiced the criticism of the roadmap. Not the detail and the content in the roadmap, just the structure of it is a load of hullabaloo. But yeah, hopefully they either move back to the old structure or they, I don't know, they're probably gonna gut the structure that they went with in January and, I don't know, go for a completely new one. Who knows? I don't know. Oh, I've already done that. Okay, let's do an afternoon run. Yeah, Dessau, Hauptbahnhof to Leipzig, Conwitz, or however you say it correctly. It's an S2 service, and it's at all stops. Passenger service. So let's get going. Trey Boss, you know I'm talking about Boston Sprint. Yeah. I do. Don't worry. I'm just a bit slow, that's all. I'm just a bit slow at my reactions today. It's a Monday. No one's ever good at Mondays, come on. Who likes Mondays? Nobody does. Unless they have a day off on Monday, then from work or school or something, then yeah, that's understandable. Let's put on the lights. Destination display. Is it on? Can I see it? I'm not sure. Don't think I can. Maybe the pantograph needs to be done. Train lights. Yes. Yes. Let's have a look. What's going on over here? Signal lights. Here we go. This is what. Signals. No. Headlights. Yes, please. Battery control. Yep. I do like the 182 and Rapid Transit. It looks very good inside and out. What's going on here? Why isn't this working? Do you have to turn it on? Ah, that's why. There's 2 Leipzig conduits. Lock the doors and commence the service. Look at it. It looks so... Oh, there's 2 of them. Excellent. Nice. There's always something about the 182. That just brings a smile to my face. I don't know why, whether it's the musical sounds it produces, or I don't know. To me, just the visual and the sound, and it just looks good. It's like when you look at it in the menu, and you can't help but notice how good it looks. It does look very, very nice. And it just adds so much to Rapid Transit. I think when it originally released, it effectively doubled the amount of services you could do on Rapid Transit. And you could use it on other German routes. And not too long ago, we had the MRCE livery of the 182. So you can enable it to do some services, freight services, with the black livery as well as the Deutsche Bahn red livery. Now, which livery I prefer? I always prefer the red one. But the MRCE black livery certainly steals the spotlight from the red 182 in terms of its visual appearance. It's very striking, and it's certainly a good train to drive at particularly Halloween time. On a dark, dingy, misty day, doing the freight service either on Hamburg, Lübeck, which is what I think the black MRCE 182 came with, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I'm pleased they added the 182. It's a good all-round package. If you haven't got the 182, either the Rapid Transit version or the MRCE version, or you may not be a fan of this particular electric locomotive, then I certainly encourage you to give it a try. It's good fun, and it's just different, isn't it? You know. Beep beep. That was Roadrunner. Roadrunner's come to say hello. I wasn't expecting that. Roadrunner must be in the engine room. I'll have to have a look. Let's get on the brakes, because my lord, I've overstepped the mark. But thankfully we got good brakes. Oh dear. Oopsie daisy. Oh well. The important thing is to finish the service. Doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you finish it. E60 Guy 101 Train Sim World is nearly 5 years old. Is it really? 5 years? I thought it'd be older than that. Wow. Now, Jennings, do you think they should do the West Coast Line for Brighton? Ooh. I don't think so. No, I'm not actually a fan of the East Coast Way or the Brighton Main Line as such. What am I doing? Need to lock the doors. Oh no, I can't. I have to wait. I'm not actually a big fan of the East Coast Way route or the Brighton Main Line. It's certainly a challenging experience, and I respect what it brings to Train Sim World. But it's not the first thing I'll play when firing up the game. I'll be honest. So if it came to the game, and I'm sure it would be interesting, and of course I would give it a try and see what it's like. But anything to do with like Southern or East Coast Way or Brighton Main Line, isn't quite my cup of tea. I don't know. It's just it just didn't seem interesting to me. I'll probably trigger a lot of people saying like, "Oh, how could you hate the Brighton Main Line? How could you hate 1,400 services? How could you hate East Coast Way? It's a quaint little route." Yeah, it is, and I respect that. Again, it's just not as interesting as other routes I like. It really is as simple as that. Right, what's the next stop? Mark. Platform 2. E60 Guy 101, what are your thoughts on the Harlem line with the M7A and the M3A? I think the route itself, or route itself, I should say, since it's American, I like the idea. Of course, it said, New York City, we're going to have one of the most iconic stations in the world in Grand Central Terminal, and I'm sure Dovetail reproduce it in a very good way, certainly from, of course, a visual and maybe a atmospheric perspective. For locomotives, personally, I would have preferred having just one of the old rolling stock from Long Island Railroad, then have both of them. Now, nobody knows what the M7 and M3, what's it called? The Metro North versions, we don't know what they're going to be like of these particular two electric multiple units. I'm hoping that they are different, either from, obviously they'll be different from a visual perspective, but maybe different in some performance perspectives, or the physics may have been tweaked, or the sounds may have been tweaked, just like the 143 and the 146 had when Naverka Dresden came along. I would have preferred they added something new to the table with that route, locomotive wise. I would have preferred them adding what's it called? I forget what it's called. It's red. It's kind of red. It's run by Metro North. It's like it's a Japanese train, isn't it? What's it called? The Kazaki or Kawasaki or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called, but that I would have preferred than the M3 or the M7. It's not that I don't like those two trains, absolutely not. I like the M3 and the M7. It's just I just thought that for that particular route they would at least introduce something new locomotive wise. I don't mind if they keep reproducing the same ones over and over again, but if we can have now and again one new one or a bit of rolling stock, then I would be a bit more happy. Turan Turan, for example, most of the rolling stock we've got on there are ones we have experienced in the past, other than the 612, which was brand new. So that's the kind of style I want. Have some familiar rolling stock in there that we all have good knowledge and experience of, but make sure to put in maybe a new toy for us to play with. The Trainmaster, the M8, that's it, well done. the M8 Kawasaki. That's it. Now I know they go down to Grand Central Terminal because I've seen it in online. So whether they go there in real life, these days I don't know. And another question is, we don't really know what the time period is going to be of this particular route. Is this Harlem line set in the mid 2010s or maybe even earlier? Who knows? Maybe in the mid 2000s. I don't know. But you know, like any of us who play Train Sim World, we always guess and speculate. You know, what is coming to the game, what could come to the game, what said new route or locomotive that's coming to the game. What's that going to be like? You know. But yes, certainly, I am pleased with the route they've chosen in the New York area, because I love New York. New York is a brilliant city, beautiful city, and obviously the transportation links are very, very important. Whether that be the New York Metro or what we've experienced in the past, like Northeast Corridor New York with Amtrak and CSX stuff running around. So I welcome the introduction of another new brand, Metro North, and and just a route in the New York area, because like I said, New York's a pretty good place to visit. If you haven't visited New York, I would say I'd recommend going, but I don't know if you can go at the moment because of the pandemic. So. I'll have to take a look at the chat. The train master's ridden the M8 before. 3 stops to New Canaan, Stamford, Grand Central Terminal. Very nice. Yeah, the M8 certainly looks different, doesn't it, from its other Metro North counterparts. And of course it's a different livery. It's got a bit of red. Now, I will be honest, I personally don't know the Harlem route itself. I haven't experienced it either on a game or have seen, footage of a cab ride of it in real life. So I'm not sure exactly what it is like from, the scenery and all that kind of jazz. But it should be good. I think 25 miles, I was a bit surprised by how short that is, but it's like I said in yesterday's stream, I think someone else asked the question of the Harlem line, asking if 25 miles is enough or not enough. I don't mind the length of a route. It's what you include in that route itself that's important. Hauptstrecke Rheinruhr proves very well you don't have to be the biggest route in the game to provide the most entertainment. And with 404 services on the 24 mile route, and I'm going way too fast because I'm not looking where I'm going. Oopsie daisy. It proves that you don't have to be the biggest route to have a lot of fun. And I've absolutely screwed this one up, that's for sure. Oh well. Yep. Oh dear, I might have messed it up here. Too busy talking and not concentrating. Let's just wait for the brakes to release. I think I might get away with that, I'm not completely out of sight, signal-wise. I'm not going to reverse completely onto the platform, just a little bit. Yeah, I'm not the best driver in Train Sim World. I'll be honest. Ooh, sugar! Don't go through that red. Phew, we're ahead of schedule, so that's good. And breathe. We survived. Oopsie daisy. Epic V112. In reality, the M8 is the American answer to the 387-2 to 377-5 for the ability to run on the 750 volt DC third rail overhead wires. Between the M8 and the 387-2, which one will you pick? Ooh, that's a good one. I don't think I could answer that because I've never driven the M8 Kawasaki, so I have no idea what driving that is like, either in a game or, obviously experiencing a ride in reality. So if it ever came to Train Sim World, I will be able to answer that question, but obviously I can't at the moment. The 387-2 is actually not too bad. I like the 387. But whether I prefer the M8 to the 387, I'm not too sure. Like you said, they're visually, it's obviously kind of similar in some ways to the 387-2 we have here in England. Maybe, its purposes is obviously very similar, and I suppose some degree the livery is as well, because the 387 is red, and the Kawasaki M8, as far as I can recall, is a bit red, so there's some similarities there. Whether the way it performs on the rails, is that different or not, I honestly couldn't say. I'm amazed I got away with that stop earlier. I thought I honestly screwed it up completely, but no, managed to escape. The next stop is Jesnitz. I think that strange B means an S, if I'm not mistaken. But if I get it wrong, then yeah, you can correct me. I think it's called Jesnitz, because I always called it Jebnitz, because it looks like a B, obviously. But you pronounce the weird-looking B as an S. Or at least I think so. Right, let's not screw this station stop this time. Oh, I think it's best I look at the chat when I'm at a stop. One of these days I'm going to screw myself up and run for a red or miss the station by, I don't know, 10 miles, and yeah. And then, yeah, that would be good. Stop. Trainmaster, very good engine, M8s, yeah. Not us, why not with PZB? I'll be honest, I don't know how to use PZB, and yeah. I don't think I could manage, PZB, CIFA, and plus trying to look at the chat and talk at the same time. As well as, trying to stop at stations and remain kind of close to being on time. So, yeah, I think one day I will have to have a look at seeing how to use PZB and understanding the... Oh my good God, apparently we've not locked the doors. Oh, we have now. Okay, off we go. That gave me a fright. Yeah, one day I'll... when I've got some spare time, I'll have a look into the safety systems and how it all works, and then put it into practice. I think probably once you understand the theory of it, I think it's probably very easy to implement, and probably makes for a very rich driving experience. But yeah, I think maybe when doing streams, I don't think that's going to be necessary to use PZB. May look cool and authentic, but yeah, for me it's a bit tricky to juggle so many things at the same time. But I won't rule it out. I must say that I'm very, very rusty to the streaming style. I mean, it's been nearly over 13 months since I've last properly streamed. So, yeah, I'm still a bit rusty to driving and talking and answering people's questions and, yeah, trying not to make a mess of the service I'm conducting. Right, we're in the Bitterfeld area now. Next stop is Wolfen. Let's come to a stop and unlock the doors. We're very ahead of schedule, aren't we? We're nearly a minute ahead of schedule. Wow. Flying along. Right, now we've got a bit of a wait, so I can take a look at the chat. But Train Master, have you seen the Tonga volcanic explosion? He asks me. I have seen it on the news. Whether the devastation has passed, I'm not sure. Let me take a look at the news. If it works. Let me see. Yeah. I saw the footage from a satellite, and yeah, quite some explosion. Because I think the volcano erupted, and then the day after it triggered I think it was a tsunami. And yeah, when I think of you know, when you hear these kind of disasters on the news, you know, you do think like, yeah, this world, Mother Nature has her way, and we need to respect that. But obviously, when these sort of disasters happen, like it's not the only one. I think there was the Boxing Day one of 2005, if I'm mistaken. That was a terrible tragedy. And the one that sticks to mind for me is the one in Japan in 2011. I think it was in 2011, you know, with like in Fukushima, and, you know, the earthquake and the tsunami, and, you know, it's scary, you know, when you see that footage. You know, it is quite frightening. Like, you know, you think you're in the safest place in the world, and you know, just like that, it just changes, and it's very, very scary when you hear it on the news. I'm not saying to panic. I mean, I don't want you all to panic and everything, but yeah, it's just a reminder that, you know, that that when these tragedies happen, that you know, it's important that we pay our respects to the victims of the tragedy, and of course the people that are dealing with, you know, the tragedy in terms of relief effort and X, Y, and Z. But yeah, hopefully, yeah, the people of Tonga are, I wouldn't say okay, because obviously they're not going to be okay, but hopefully the damage is not as extreme as hopefully we fear. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I haven't had an update as far as 2 hours ago, so I'm not sure on the impact it's had on Tonga. I don't know how close the volcano or the tsunami was to Tonga, but all I know is that it hit it pretty bad. So yeah, just have to cross my fingers and hope it's not too bad. But it's easy to say when I'm sitting in a room with playing a game. But yeah. Anyway, let's get back on the positive front. Yeah, train was very dark, very dangerous. Yep. The volcano exploded underwater. Yeah, underwater, yeah. Sometimes I think it was in science I learned years ago, what was it, the tectonic plates, or the plates, magnetic plates, when they shift, obviously that causes tsunami as well. I think so, anyway. It's been a while since I've done any science-related questions and answers. Particularly on the stream, I think that's a first. Mother Nature has her ways. Oh yes, Train Master. Oh yes. Richard Peach, the Boxing Day tsunami. Oh, 2004. Yeah, that was it. Sorry. Yeah, I knew it was roughly around the 03, 05 area. I apologise. Yeah. tsunamis are common. There are hundreds per day. Some just major ones occur every few years. Yeah, major ones that, a lot of people hear, obviously very rarely occur, but like little ones and even some little tremors in the earth, are a common theme and occurrence. Right. There you go, log for doors. And let's get going. The next stop is Bitterfeld, platform 4. Richie Peach, yeah, it's a very complex system that causes them, but yeah, you pretty much nailed it. Oh, fair enough. My memory's not too bad after all. Oh dear. I must have done well in science then. I think science for me was fun at school. I always enjoyed, I was fascinated by the science. It depends on which type of genre of science, be that engineering or medical or whatever science genres are there. I'm not sure. Either sci-fi. Does sci-fi count as science? I suppose it does in some ways. But yeah, I like science at school. Very long time ago since I did it, but yeah, it was good fun when I remember doing it. It helps when you have a nice teacher, and a good teacher too. So that either helps you and or provides a laugh and make the lessons interesting. The next speed limit is 60 kilometers per hour. Now I imagine I will probably get this question at some point in future streams, so I might as well ask the inevitable question, which is why don't I use more variation in the weather system? Why do I always keep it dry and sunny? The simple answer is because on streams, well, you want to see what's going on route-wise, and if you have some heavy rain or snow and the wipers keep constantly going, there's the ICE, there it is on the left. I knew it was there. It wasn't a one-off. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. Well. I thought I was seeing things. I thought it was like a bug or something where the game was like accidentally swapping it in, but no, there it is on the left. Is it going to screw this service up? Ooh, that's a good question. I didn't expect it to be here. Well, would you believe I was talking about it, and there it is. Look at that. Ooh, I wonder which one it is. Is it the one with the economic green stripe, or is it the standard one in the game? Hey, buddy. Hello, my friend. What are you doing here? Where are you going? Do you have a destination display? No, nicht einsteigen. Do not board. Now, what's the status? The tail lights must be at the back. So it must be coming into Leipzig. Oh, it doesn't say. Can't see it. I need to unlock my doors. What track is it on then? It has to be going into Leipzig then, surely. Oh, maybe not. Bye-bye. Well, that's answered my question. It made a cameo appearance. It clearly doesn't like being shown on stream. So it decides to run away from me. Fair enough. Oh, it's nice to see it though. What a nice surprise that was. I don't know if you caught it, but I certainly did. I don't know what the stream quality is like this evening. If you could let me know what the quality is like. Is it okay? Is the sound consistent? Like, can you hear the game well? Can you hear me well? Is the sound out of sync? Please let me know. I really would appreciate that feedback, because like I said earlier, I haven't streamed in over 13 months, and I'm still relatively rusty to this. I mean, I've got a faster network now than I did, and of course a new next gen console. So yeah, some feedback on the stream performance and quality. I would really appreciate that. It would mean a lot, because any feedback and guidance that you could give me on how to make the streams better, or quality and performance wise, absolutely 100%. I would really welcome the feedback, and yeah, if it's good or bad, then I couldn't care less. So some feedback would be really appreciative, because then when I plan for streams ahead, then obviously I can make the necessary changes if things need to be tweaked. Richie Peach, sorry. Took me 3 years at university studying geography to understand what you summed up into in simple life. I think I'll be going to university next week then. I could get a degree in science. Become a doctor. At Cambridge University, I could see it coming. Alright, the next stop is Peterborough. We're flying along now, 150 kilometers per hour. No, the speed limit's 160, I think. It's pretty quick. Very quick. Very quick. Now we're going too quick. Let's keep it under control. E60 guy 101. Out of any scenario you did, which one did you enjoy the most? Ooh, blimey, that's a difficult question, because I've done so many. I kind of like the rescue ones, like you had on Great Western Express and Transpennine, where you had to rescue a passenger train and take it to the other side of the map. I do like that. That I find quite fun. I like the shunting services because they're good fun. I like some services that have something different added to the mix, like Rhino-Austin, for example, where you have to diverge a freight train onto the S-Bahn line because of a fire or something, and you see the smoke and the fire in the distance, and you hear the fire engines, approaching that particular area, and it very interests me. Very interesting, I should say. In terms of absolute favourites, I couldn't say. There's so many I've done. And in response to scenarios, actually, I think someone asked me yesterday, asking, where's the scenarios gone for the playlist? Well, do not worry, because I have rectified that. Today I spent an hour getting every single darn playlist scenario I've done, put them all into one big playlist. It's called Train Sim World Scenarios. You can access that on my channel, and you can watch every single scenario I've done in full, in its entirety, as many times as you want. So yeah, I know I may have upsetted a few people, or made a few people disappointed that I'm not doing scenarios anymore or covering it on my channel, but the ones I have done, you can now access it in one big playlist. So I hope that makes you feel a little bit happier. Because while scenarios are interesting for me, they're not my main draw card to the game. It's always timetables for me. Always has been. My Life Alice 101. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. The ICE train doesn't go on rapid transit. How is it a layout on this route? I don't know. Ask Dovetail. They're the ones that make the game. I don't know. It must be AI. That's all I can say. It must be due to because the timetable I'm using obviously is a completely new timetable. We've got a 2021 timetable compared to the bog standard rapid transit timetable. So my only guess is that Dovetail sneaked in an ICE that occasionally, obviously controlled by the AI, of course, that scuttles in and out of Leipzig. As far as I know, I think I think some ICE services do go into Leipzig Hauptbahnhof. I've seen it. Whether it's in 2021, that's anyone's guess. But I have seen ICE services go into Leipzig Hauptbahnhof station. Whether it's specifically the ICE free, I don't know. But heck, I'm not going to complain. I prefer the variety. It was a nice surprise. Honestly, I didn't expect it to be in this stream. I was speaking about it earlier, and just by chance, there it was. So, yeah. Luck of the gods, maybe? I don't know. But I did see it once before, but I didn't think I'd see it in tonight's stream. So, yeah, if you haven't seen it, now you have. So, that gives me another reason to say, of course, if you enjoyed the stream, make sure to give it a like, because then you can catch that ICE in all its glory on rapid transit. And yeah, if in terms of the next stream, this schedule of Sunday and Monday nights, that I'm hoping to keep to that schedule as the weeks progress. In terms of the content, of course, I've got a lot of routes to have some fun with. So yeah, in terms of variety of the streams on Train Sim World, yeah, there's a lot to enjoy. So don't worry. Be that routes of the past or the very latest. A lot of fun. So pick up the pace a little bit. Increase the speed to maximum. I'm now on the Dovetail game forums. Excellent. There you are. You can ask the Dovetail forums how an ICE train sneaked onto a 2021 rapid transit timetable. E60 Guy 101, don't forget the SW1000R rescue service. Ah, yes, of course. That's unrealistic. Yeah. I was very surprised Dovetail let that happen. They did that. What Amtrak thought of that, I don't know. It was certainly interesting. Of course, it's unrealistic because I don't think any diesels are allowed into New York Penn. I think it's due to, exhaust pollution or, safety of the passengers in terms of breathing. But, hey, maybe that's allowed now because everyone's, of course, being required to wear face masks on public transport. So I don't know if that applies in Amtrak services, but I'm sure there's some sort of policy when it comes to wearing face masks on public transport. Well, it applies in England and Scotland, and Northern Ireland and Wales. So I'm pretty sure some sort of policy there must apply to rail services in America. Let's cruise to the stopping point. Come on. We're ahead of schedule, so we can take our time. There we go. Let's unlock the doors. My Life, Alisac 101. Save the scenario playlist to my channel library. Excellent. Cool. That's what we'd like to hear. The E60 Guy 101, the most shortest scenarios you did are the C40-8Ws. Yeah, I'll explain why. At the time, I couldn't record the whole scenario in its entirety because I didn't have the equipment to do so. Now, well, I don't know whether I'm able to do it on today because, yeah, I'm not planning to make any sandpatch grade stuff for the time being. I'm hoping after this expansion pack comes along to the free base routes of the game, I may revisit sandpatch grade. Certainly in my timetable series I'm doing at your service, sandpatch grade will be featured. Do not worry. I have a ton of services to do on sandpatch grade, and a lot of variety on sandpatch grade, and it's a beautiful looking route. A lot of fantastic vistas in the mountains and the forests and the lakes, and also it's a very challenging route to drive, particularly in the snow. Excuse me. My Life Alasak 101. Do you live in Reading? I did. I don't anymore. I no longer live in Reading. No. I lived in there pretty much most of my life, and then yeah, family circumstances played a part. Let's put it that way. Nothing bad, nothing to do with me, but yeah. Ooh. On the brakes. Am I on the brakes? No, I'm off the brakes. I thought I was applying the brakes because the controller is on my knee, and I thought the brake was being applied thanks to my knee. Alright, now we can apply the brakes. My Life, Alice, why is your service called At Your Service? Where did you get it from? I just thought it up. You know, it's like, I think I remember I went to a restaurant before the... when did I go to a restaurant? I went to a restaurant in September, October with my parents, and obviously the waiter gave us the menus of some drinks, and gave us a glass of water, 3 glasses of water, and all that kind of jazz, and we said, yeah, thank you for that, we really appreciate it. And they said, and the guy said, no worries, happy to be of service. And that made me think, hey, that could be a good name for the series, At Your Service. Because yeah, that's what that's what trains do. They provide a service to us all, be it, you know, transporting equipment to and from, you know, different countries, or, you know, to transporting commuters and passengers to various towns and cities, and of course even transcontinental services. So I thought that would be quite a cool name, At Your Service. It's kind of what you would say at if I was a waiter, for example, in a posh party or something. I'll be like, thank you, happy to be of service. But yeah, I thought the name was quite cool. Whether people like it, I couldn't care. But yeah, I like the name, so yeah, I quite like it. I should make a copy. I should do make it copyrighted. You can't use this name for any Train Sim World series. If you do, I'll hunt you down and I'll send you to court. I'm joking. E60 Guy 101, the Flying Scotsman, once went to America and almost didn't come back. Yes, I remember I watched a video on that not too long ago, and the story was fascinating. Who would have thought it was left, abandoned almost in the States, because I think the driver or the owner at the time couldn't afford to bring it back to England, and in the end what was it? I think a selection of businessmen managed to buy the Flying Scotsman and bring it back, and yeah, it lives on somehow. it lives on. Yeah, but Flying Scotsman is a tremendous locomotive, one of the greats of all time. up there with, Big Boy and even the Mallard, those, is it A4? A1 Pacific locomotives, yeah, they were very beautiful, especially with the streamlining visual appearance. It looked beautiful. Let's take a look at the chat. Which station do you live near now? I'll keep you guessing. I'll keep you all guessing. Here's a question. Here's a clue. It's quite far from Reading, so... So, yeah, you could guess. Bit of fun. E60 Guy 101, the Flying Scotsman went on the old northeast corridor. Unfortunately, it couldn't go into the tunnels, so a GG1 had to tow it in. Oh, really? Wow. Unlucky tug. Oh. Right, we're approaching Rackwitz in the city of Leipzig now. I wish the football stadium was in the rapid transit route. What's it called? The Red Bull Arena, where Red Bull Leipzig play in Germany. I'm pretty sure it's not too far from the Leipzig S-Bahn. It's a nice stadium. I think it's like close to 40,000 capacity, so it's a pretty decent stadium. As you can tell, I like football or soccer. V60 Guy 101, the Pennsylvania Railroad T1 will be completed by 2030. Wow. And will be the youngest steam engine right next to the Tornado. The youngest, wow. I would have thought that, especially in these environmental times, that steam engines would have been a thing of the past in terms of new ones being produced, but well, clearly not. The next stop is Leipzig Messe. We shouldn't be too far now from the finish. Shouldn't be. We got a bit more to go, I think. But we're in the Leipzig area, so we're getting closer to the terminus at Leipzig Konwitz, or however you pronounce it correctly, Connectwitz, I don't know. When was the last time you made a long business trip and your train had to stop for breakfast? Well, never for me. I can imagine it being a very nice experience. Certainly a lovely commute in the mornings. I could just imagine it being a very astute businessman, first class, having breakfast, on the way to London. Perfect. Can't ask more than that, unless the train is late or breaks down. There was one particular mode of transport I found very soothing and relaxing on the Monday morning commute or something, was the Thames Clippers services in London. Just fantastic, especially if it's a nice, lovely, bright start to the day on the River Thames, and you can take Thames Clipper boats to either I don't know now, but before the pandemic it was to like Canary Wharf and stuff like that. It doesn't, I think it goes near Westminster, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure now, because I have never ridden on the Thames Clipper boats service on the River Thames. But I watched a video of it on the Londonist YouTube channel. It was published years ago. But yeah, it just seems such a beautiful way to commute to work, you know. It was quiet, you could find a seat, you know, and you get the river, you know. You're not on a train or in a traffic jam. You're on the River Thames, and yeah, with the sights of the, you know, Canary Wharf or the O2 Arena or Shard, or, you know, yeah, the famous London landmarks. So yeah, on a bright sunny morning, yeah, I don't think you could beat that experience. It sounds very, 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 very tempting. But I think my mode of transportation would either be the tube or walking. If I lived near the River Thames, then, and my work was near the River Thames, I'd probably take the boat, if it was cheaper. The tornado was completed in 2008. Did you know when there was a police class 37? I know there was a police class 37. I'm not sure exactly when, whether that be the, I don't know, 80s, 90s, 70s even, late 70s. But I have seen a picture of it online. I remember coming across it once, and I thought at first it was a fake. What am I doing? I need to unlock the doors, you silly devil. Silly me, I apologise. The overdriver wants breakfast. Right. The crossing on Sandpatch Grade work now. Yes, I found that out, yeah, in the, what was it, a patch notes on the forums. I was a bit disappointed by that patch in particular. I thought they would squeeze in the Peninsula Corridor, Rossignol, and what's it called? The Oakville subdivision updates, or upgrades, more like. You know, it's been, those particular free routes, you know, the upgrades have been finished for months, and they've just been sat there, you know, just waiting for a green light for some reason to be released to the general public. It needs to come out soon, because very soon we'll get to a point where, you know, the next Train Sim World game will be around soon, and we still got a traffic jam of Train Sim World upgrades to routes of the past. So they need to get them out pretty quick, because we're only in January. You know, it may seem a long time, but it's, you know, these days it's crazy how time flies. So I think Dovetail need to step up, put their foot on the gas and start to pump out these updates, but especially Northeast Corridor, not Northeast Corridor, Rossignol, and, you know, Peninsula Corridor and Oakville subdivision. I mean, that's been in the pipeline for months. It was finished ages ago. I think we're October, November time, and we're now in January, and it still hasn't arrived. So yeah, they need to get it out pretty quickly. The next stop is Leipzig Nord. E60 Guide 101, the HST advert is the best. I haven't seen the HST advert. I never knew there was one, but I'll have a look at that. I do like the Shinkansen advert for the Japanese bullet trains. I love that. It's so brilliant. I think they're advertising the latest Shinkansen high-speed train in 2020, and the advert is brilliant. I love it. It's like got the soundtrack of Queen Don't Stop Me Now, and I'm like, that's just brilliant. You see the train flying by with some brilliant shots, brilliant cinematography there. Or filming, I should say. It's not a film, it's an advert. But yeah, check it out. I think it's called the, what is it, Shinkansen 700 something, 700 series. Yeah, wonderful advert. It's like 20 seconds long. It's in Japanese, but yeah. yeah, you get a pretty good feel that it's a fast train. And the song's in English too, which surprised me. Obviously, maybe they don't do Queen songs in Japanese. Or translate it in Japanese. There's a talent 2 leaving. Leipzig Nord as we are approaching our stopping point. I don't know how long the stream's been going on for, but yeah, it's been steady so far. You know, we're getting things done. Had a bit of a wobble now and again, but so far we're so good. It's good. Do you think the Oakville subdivision should have passengers? What, do you mean the characters, or do you mean passenger services? I'm not sure quite what you mean. E60 Guy 101. I was on the C40-8W and I got the number 77777. Pretty cool. Hope you took a screenshot of it. I remember the HST on the Great Western Express, they used to have, there was a scenario where occasionally you used to get the 4 zeros on the side of the door of the driver's cab, if I'm not mistaken. Right, let's lock the doors, it's time to get going. Passenger locomotives. No, not really. There isn't much passenger stuff there, is there? I think there's, what, 3 stations? At 3 or 4 at least, I think, off the top of my head. I've hardly touched Canadian National. But I know that someone told me that they were planning of using the Caltrain MP36 Bully Bullet as a passenger layer on Canadian National. I like the idea of it, but it doesn't really make sense. You're using a Caltrain locomotive, which I presume doesn't run on those particular tracks in Canada, and the passenger services, even though it adds a bit of variety, is practically useless, isn't it? I mean, it'll probably take, what, 5-10 minutes at most, and that's not really what I wanted. I would have preferred a loco add-on, a Canadian National freight locomotive. But ideally, for me personally, I would have preferred a switcher or a shunter in the Hamilton Yard complex. I think that would have made so much more sense. But yeah, that's just how I feel. Right, we're entering the tunnels of Leipzig once more. Into the darkness we go. Whee, down we go. It should be Go Transit. Yes, that's it, Go Transit. I've had a feeling it wasn't Caltrain, it was a different brand. I know that the locomotive is, I think, appropriate because it is used on in the, yeah, what's it, the Hamilton area? I don't know Canada that well. But yeah, the brand I think is, I knew it was something different other than Caltrain. Not Caltrain, I should say. Right, let's bring this train to a halt. There we are. Perfect. Now, Matt Jennings, what do you think of an idea of an Elizabeth line if it opens in the real world? The Elizabeth line. What's that? That's the purple one, isn't it? If I'm mistaken, I think it used to be called the Purple Line. The Elizabeth. Yes, I know what you mean now. Sorry, I didn't know what you meant at first. It's coming to my head now. Yeah, I think it would be brilliant, and it brings me on to a type of route that I think Train Sim World should do. I think it'd be an interesting concept to explore, and that is, well, concept routes. Imagine, like, you know, they bring HS2 to life in the virtual world, and You know, that will really give people a sense, and the general public, and maybe the government that fund these big rail projects, a glimpse into what it could be like. Rather than just have an artist impression, why not have video games show that? You know, what this future real world route could be like. So yeah, I think bringing to life something like the Elizabeth line, or something like HS2, for example, even though they've scrapped the section going to Leeds, I think that would be just brilliant. And even if it doesn't get made in real life, I think from the player's perspective, that'd be awesome. Oh, can't go yet. Can't go yet. Can't go yet. E60 Car 101, I would prefer the Canadian National GP40-2W. Okay. Yeah, that would be a pretty good one, actually. I think just any Canadian National locomotive that works in that area that we have in the game on Oakville Subdivision, I would welcome that. Much better than a Caltrain locomotive that is used, or passenger layer, that really doesn't make much of a difference. To me, it doesn't bother me that much, but yeah, I'm sure it have its fans for sure. Let's lock the doors. One thing I will say about passengers, like the character models, I think there's more to be done with the passengers. Not only because they're still very clumsy. I mean, look, they're getting all glitchy on the stairs there. There's a lot more needs to be done with the, I think, awareness level of the passengers. Like, you know, you occasionally get passengers that run into you, and you know, that's annoying. I think the graphics as well of the passengers, I think that can be taken up a notch. But variety-wise, I think it could certainly be improved. Like, why not have children, for example, or, you know, with families, or disabled passengers in wheelchairs, or, you know, with wheelchairs. Yeah, that was what I meant. Or maybe have other types of passengers, like elderly passengers, as well as, you know, maybe ones in pushchairs, like, you know, babies and so on and so forth. I think it'll bring the real world to life, like the passenger variety, from a visual perspective. You know, I think that would be brilliant. You know, having like disabled passengers, and oh my good lord, we're not moving forward. We're moving when we shouldn't be. But yeah, like I said, I think having visual variety, like types of passengers, be like children, or maybe pushchairs, or prams, or elderly passengers, or disabled passengers, I think that'll be very nice to have. And if they introduce that into the game, I think it will create quite a bit of attention for the game, in a good way, of course, because equality is essential these days, and why not have that kind of aspect in the game? Shine the light on the game, and in a good way. I'm surprised they've ever done that, to be honest. I think that's a really good idea, actually. How the animations would work is a different story, but I think the idea of it, I think, certainly needs to be looked into. 100%. That's a great idea, actually. I'm quite pleased with that. I should email Dovetail. This is what you should do to the passengers. Bump the quality up, bump the awareness up, and increase the variety. And not just the variety of passengers, like types of passengers, but maybe we should have like more things that the passengers should be doing. Like, you know, when they sit on the bench or something, they should be on their phone or reading a magazine or a book, or when it's raining they should have an umbrella. So much more to add to the passengers. So much more. Mr. Quicko Streams, Hello, how are you? Long time no see. Indeed, it has been a long time. I'm glad you're well, my friend. Nice to see you. Welcome. It's my second stream of my comeback, streaming-wise. And yeah, all going well so far. My network has been improved. I've got a new console. If you keep up to date, and yeah, I have returned to streaming with a bang, which is a big relief because I've missed streaming and talking to people. In terms of the schedule of streaming, it'll be every Monday and Sunday night. The E60 Guy 101, the E2 tank engines were the most useless engines. Really? Why? Why were they useless? Were they just too weak or something, or not powerful enough, or just not the purpose of that locomotive was not well executed? Maybe the design was rubbish. I don't know. Crazy Dash. Hey, Spurs. Hey, Crazy Dash. Nice to see you. Welcome. Just having a bit of fun on Rapid Transit. The previous stream I did, which was yesterday, had a little go on the Taranto ramp for the first time, doing a full-length run of the route in both directions, and it was great fun, actually. I really enjoyed it. Especially with the leaning tower of the 612. It's not really a tower, is it? It's a locomotive, you silly devil. Whoa, on the brakes, on the brakes. Oh, couldn't have timed it any better. Oh, lovely. I think after I finish this stream, I'm going to have a nice hot cup of tea. I'm parched for a cup of tea. Mr. Cricker Street, not too bad. Saw your stream come up in my recommendations, so that's good. Oh, good. I'm doing well then. Like I said, I haven't streamed in a long time, so maybe it's a bit of a surprise for some people that I'm streaming again. I did do a channel update video about it, but obviously it probably hasn't got the recognition it needs. It's a YouTube thing. But yeah, just like I said earlier, for streams I do will be, of course, re-uploaded to the channel in the quality that I stream on. So yeah, you'll be able to watch it in full, in perfect clarity. And the live chat will be enabled as well. So if there's any particular questions you want to ask me, then of course, look through the live chat as the stream progresses, and you can pick it out and watch it there. I've also made a Train Sim World stream playlist as well. So if you want to keep on top of all the streams you've either missed or favourite stream you like, if you don't like liking videos, and you can always add the playlist as well. Obviously it's quite small at the moment because there's only one. Soon to be two. Right, the next stop is Leipzig MDR. The underground section is over. Oh, I was overspeeding. I'm busy looking at my phone. Don't go on your phone when driving, people. I'm trying to message a friend. There we are. I'm going too slow. You can't win, can you? E60 Guy 101. What's that? It's just a white... Was that an egg or a white... It's just a white thing. Don't understand what that means. White circle emoji. I don't know. Is it an egg? I don't know. My glasses are not clean, so I can't really see it. I'm looking at the phone from a distance, so I'm really squinting because I haven't got a table around me to put a phone, and obviously I can't put it in my pocket because then I'm taking it out and putting it away and taking it out and putting it away, and I can't be bothered to do that. Crazy Dash, does the 182 do faster services than the Talent 2, or does it do similar services? It does Well, that depends on which timetable you use, because on Rapid Transit you have not one, but two timetables. You've got a 2021 timetable, or the box standard 2017 timetable. It was a free update to the route, so you don't have to pay for it or anything like that. The services increased on the 2021 timetable to 319, and this particular service, let me show you, is the S2 service going from Dessau to Leipzig-Komwitz. The Talent 2 does the S3 services, and I think it's an S1 service as well, which basically scuttles in and out of the tunnel. Let me show you the map, it's probably a bit easy to describe. I think the S1 service is where the Talent 2 comes out of here, goes into the underground section, and then scuttles off to the left. That's the S1. The S3, I think it starts just before the start of the underground tunnels, and then goes all the way to Magdeburg-Gleichwitz. The new S2 services, which you could use either the Talent 2 or the 182, which I'm using today, that does S2 services from Dessau to Leipzig-Konwitz, if I pronounce that correctly. You can also use the 143, that adds an extra layer of services as well with the cab car, and that does services from here to from Dessau. I think it's to Bitterfeld. I'm not sure, but yeah, certainly the service amount and variety has significantly improved with a new timetable, of course, and it's free. You can't ask more than that. Matt Jennings, the important question about your tea, water, or milk first. Oh, well, I have to put the I put the tea bag in first, because I have this tea making machine which I've had for a little while. So I put the tea bag in, switch on the machine, let the water bubble and boil and warm up. Then the water comes out of a little spout into the cup. Give it a stir, give it a whirl with the spoon. Make the tea as black as it can be, or strong as it can be, I should say. That would be more appropriate term. And then apply a little bit of milk, and hey presto, you're ready to go. That's the Spurs tea tutorial right there in 20 seconds. Right. But I don't like just tea. I love coffee as well. Coffee in the morning is a must for me. 110%. Right, the next and final stop is Leipzig-Konwitz. And that's where, not only where this service terminates, but the stream as well. It's been going on a while. I mean, in the UK it's 10:30, and nearly been on for 2 hours, I think. So, yeah, again, that's a testimony as to how improved the network I have now is. In terms of the next stream, what that will be, I don't know. It'll be on Train Sim World, but there's a few I have in mind. But yeah, I've got to cherry pick 2 to showcase, of course, this Sunday and the following Monday. And just a little clue for you, in terms of the next stream, what it will be on. It's not a German route. So there you are. I'll leave you all guessing with great wonder. Mr. Quicker Streams, where did the Reading part of your name go? Oh, I took it out because the Reading bit didn't really make sense. Plus, I don't live in Reading anymore, so I thought, well, why not change the Reading to Rail? Why not? T-Law says E60 Guy 101. Patty Epstein, do you know when the new Amtrak engines are coming out? The livery, I have no idea for the ACS 64. As far as new Amtrak trains go, there's nothing been announced or confirmed yet by Dovetail or any other sources. So no new Amtrak stuff for now. Crazy Dash, no release date for the ESC64 Heritage Livery. Nope, afraid not. Should have been out before Christmas, but for some reason it's been held back. Mr. Quicker Streams sounds similar to me how I make, except I don't have a machine, I use a kettle. Yes. I remember when they kept dropping out. I predict the Brighton main line. Ah, no. It's not the Brighton main line. I had to get rid of it so I can squeeze rapid transit on, because for those of you who don't have a PS5, there's a DLC cap or size cap to the game. I think you can get up to 64 gigabytes. So if I was to say install every single route and DLC I have, it would be downloaded to the PS5, but it won't be shown on the game. So you go through the main menu, and yeah, certain routes will be missing, and yeah, that'll be a disaster. But yeah, it's not Brighton. I had to get rid of Brighton so I could squeeze on the German routes and rapid transit, because yeah, Brighton's quite big. I think it's over 6 gigabytes, coupled with extra services as well from other routes and locomotives. Yeah, as you can see, I had to get rid of Brighton, and I've got all the German routes. Wanted to get them all downloaded, so the substitutions and extra layers were added to Taranto Ramp and other routes as well. Speaking of Taranto Ramp, actually, don't go yet, ladies and gentlemen. There's something else I want to show you. The Silver Talent 2 works on this route. I was very pleasantly surprised. Who would have thought? This Talent 2, the Silver Talent 2, which hasn't been used on any other routes, is now finally usable for Taranto Ramp. So, yeah. Brilliant, isn't it? Who would have thought? That's a nice little way to end the stream there. But yeah, there we are. That concludes the stream. I'll just take a look at the chat one last time so I can answer questions. Mr. Quicker Speens, maybe you'll do the Great Western Railway as that used to be your local. No. It's not Great Western either. No, you have to think a bit more. It's not Great Western. No, it's not Great Western Express. It's not even in the game. That's the best thing about it. I haven't downloaded it yet. So yeah, that'll keep you guessing. But yeah, I'm sure you'll. Whenever I announce that, either on my community page or my YouTube channel, I'm sure it will get some of you excited. But anyway, I will yeah, call it a day now. Stream's been going on a long time. The next stream, like I said, will be same time, same place, but on a different day, on a Sunday, 8:30 p.m. UK time, on YouTube, of course. The details of that will be published in the community section of my YouTube channel. Yeah. Very pleased to be back streaming. Happy to talk to you and answer your questions. And of course, if you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like. Subscribe to the channel as well. Spread the word that yeah, I'm back streaming and hopefully providing some entertainment for you and hopefully puts a smile on your face. So anyway, I best go make my cup of tea. And as always, I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Take care.